title, and he said that they're careful with defense. So when you beat and defend your belt, it's a defense. You never let that take that away.
All right. You know what? We give me a really good belt.
And it means something. My belt was like, I thought 7.
Yeah. This is rough.
I thought 7.
Yeah.
Don't take one away.
Like it. Nice one.
Was that a 2-3-2?
Holy
Rumors spread fast in fight sports, but few explode like the talk of Paddy Pimblett clashing with Justin Gaethje at UFC 319. Picture two lightning bolts racing toward the same point in the sky. That crack is the sound fans heard when champion Dricus Du Plessis casually mentioned the matchup. Some said he slipped, others swore he baited reporters on purpose. Either way, the phrase Paddy versus Gaethje lit message boards in seconds. At the same time, Ilia Topuria and Paddy kept their own fire blazing by squaring off inside the octagon when nobody expected it. One leak, one face-off, and now every lightweight division is on fire. We will get deeper into that, but let's go for a second to a more wholesome moment. Ben Askren's road took a wild turn that made even tough fighters pause. Only 5 weeks ago, he walked around feeling fine. But sudden lung failure put him on a transplant list. His wife Amy updated everyone online, and her words sounded both relieved and stunned. She thanked an unknown donor family who gave Ben a pair of healthy lungs, calling it the gift of another chance. She also wrote about how unreal it felt that life could flip in just over a month. Doctors replaced both lungs, and now every breath Ben takes belongs partly to someone else. Recovery will be long. He needs anti-rejection drugs, so his body accepts the organs. Yet Amy said she cannot wait for Ben to share his own update when he wakes fully. Fans who once cheered his funky wrestling now cheer each tiny step down a hospital hallway. It reminds people that fighters may look unbreakable in the cage, but real battles often happen far from bright lights.
Last week, I kind of thought, man, I've had the same vehicle since 2018, driving Raptors over and over.
Daniel Cormier always seems calm on commentary, but even a double champ can lose his cool when real life sneaks up. After calling fights at UFC 317, DC flew back to San Jose and walked into the airport parking deck expecting to drive his brand new truck home. He had owned it only 4 days, swapping his usual Raptors for a different ride. Key fob in hand, he clicked the alarm over and over, yet no horn beeped. Airport staff checked plates and told him the bad news. Someone had driven out with his truck on Thursday night while he worked in Vegas. DC filmed a short video on his phone where you could hear disbelief turn into frustration. He thanked city police for jumping on the case, but his voice cracked when he realized how fast the theft happened.
So I changed the car. I thought, okay, it'd be cool to get a different vehicle. I get back from UFC 317. I'm going up and down looking for my car. Granted, I've had this car for 4 days. When I leave to go to work, I'm pressing the key, everything.
It was a reminder that fame does not shield anyone from everyday trouble. Fans shared clips of DC ragdolling heavyweights and joked that the thief better hope police find the vehicle first. Alex Pereira knows how to entertain inside and outside the cage. While walking through an arena hallway, he met a teenager who asked for a playful spar. Instead of waving him off, Alex smiled, crouched low, and snatched the kid's ankle the way wrestlers do when shooting takedowns. Cameras caught the silly scuffle. A light pull, a quick sweep, and the fan laughing on the floor while Alex raised his hands like he had scored a knockout. The clip traveled across social media in minutes because it showed the champ's softer side. In fights, he is stone-faced and brutal. Here, he seemed like a big brother having harmless fun. People joke that even friendly Potan ankle picks feel like getting tripped by a tree branch. The fan walked away with a story he will tell forever, and Alex walked away, showing charisma some critics said he lacked. Little moments like that build legends as surely as belts do. UFC 317 also mixed heavyweights with middleweight star power. Backstage, new big man King Tom Aspinall bumped into Israel Adesanya. Izzy, fresh off his own roller coaster year, gave Tom advice only champions understand. He said Tom's next win should count as a title defense, even if the belt recently switched hands. In other words, acting like a defending champ keeps pressure high and standards higher. Tom nodded, wide-eyed, because hearing guidance from someone who held gold for years hits different.
What are your eyebrows for? What's Jake gonna work?
Dude, it's f***ing up my stream. Turn it off.
The exchange lasted mere seconds but carried weight. Two elite fighters comparing notes on how to handle sudden fame, big paydays, and the target on one's back. Fans later praised Izzy for passing knowledge downward instead of guarding it like a secret. Moments like this reveal the quiet brotherhood beneath tough talk and highlight reels. While crowds chant for knockouts, the athletes share tips on staying sane under a spotlight that never switches off. Drama around Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett could fill its own pay-per-view. After Ilia crushed Charles Oliveira to capture featherweight gold, he marched straight into the lightweight spotlight by calling out Paddy. Then at UFC 317, he somehow got into the cage between fights and faced Paddy nose to nose. Security scrambled. Dana White fumed that it should never have happened. Yet cameras kept rolling.
Paddy Pimblett brought him into the cage and they had to face off. Obviously, they've got a long history together. I know there's a lot of options on the table for Ilia, but when he shows that type of interest in a fight, does that make you want to make it?
Well, I don't know who the hell let him in there. That should have never happened. Let's start there.
Ilia later told media he truly dislikes Paddy and would enjoy kicking him around the octagon. He admitted Charles was hard to fight emotionally because he likes him. Paddy would be easy because there's no love lost. Paddy brushed off the threat but grinned like a kid who just found trouble. Some insiders believe Ilia wants to jump divisions. Others think he just knows good promotion when he sees it. Either way, the stare down turned a simmer into a boil. Fans now picture Topuria's crisp boxing against Pimblett's wild scrambles and wonder if bad blood will make the UFC pull the trigger sooner rather than later.
He's a really great human being. You can hate him. You always see him surrounded by his family, friends, teammates. He's an amazing human being. But at the end, I was like, this is competition. I have to do my job, and that's it.
Not every fight fan watches in perfect high definition. One unlucky Charles Oliveira supporter learned that the hard way. While streaming UFC 317 with friends, his feed froze at the worst possible moment, just seconds before Oliveira hit the canvas. A phone recording showed the group groaning as the screen spun, then screaming when the picture returned and the fight was over. Their disbelief turned into frantic questions. What did we miss? Where's the replay? The short clip spread online, and people laughed in sympathy because everyone has faced buffering blues. On the same night, bantamweight champ Sean O'Malley live-streamed his reaction to Ilia's knockout. He yelled, "Holy!" and thanked fate that Topuria had not accepted his earlier call-out. Sean admitted he wanted to see grappling exchanges, but instead witnessed a quick right hand followed by a savage left that sealed the finish. Together, the glitchy stream and O'Malley's honest relief showed how fights affect everyone, from casual viewers in living rooms to champions sitting on gold. Some fighters chase new weight classes, but Alexandre Pantoja planted his flag at flyweight after choking out Kai Kara France. Reporters asked if he would jump to bantamweight for bigger paychecks. Pantoja shook his head, explaining that his division still holds challenges nobody else can solve. He respects champs like Merab up at 135, but said leaving 125 would mean surrendering his belt without a fight, and no way would he do that. Pantoja spoke about being a working guy who loves Monday mornings in the gym. He plans to defend his title over and over until someone takes it the hard way. Fans appreciated his loyalty, calling him a throwback to days when champs cleaned out divisions instead of bouncing around. His stance may also keep flyweight shining, proving little guys can headline events with big heart and bigger skill. In a time when many chase super fights, Pantoja's choice feels both old school and brave.
Merab is a huge guy, you know. He's small, but he's a huge guy, you know. He's heart, his spirit, it's so nice, you know. One of the best. He's so good heart.
Rankings often stir debate, and pound-for-pound lists light that fire like dry grass. After Ilia Topuria's demolition of Oliveira, Kamaru Usman argued that the new champ deserves the #1 slot across all divisions. He pointed to Ilia's complete performance, passing guard on the ground, punishing on the feet, and finishing with clean hands. Analysts remembered similar talk when Alex Pereira climbed fast, but Usman said Ilia's competition level makes the run unique. Meanwhile, Dana White stood firm behind Jon Jones at the top, despite Jon hinting at retirement on social media. Dana told reporters that if he ranked fighters, Jon would still reign. Jon reposted that clip with a simple, "That's awesome." adding a wink to the conversation. The tug of war showed how greatness is measured differently by every eye. Some value recent dominance, others lean on long-term legacy. Fans argued late into the night, proving that debate itself is part of the sport's appeal. Sean Strickland rarely stays out of headlines, and this week he delivered 2 reasons why. First, during filming of The Ultimate Fighter, he cornered teammate Miles Hunsinger. When opponent Luis Hernandez won by submission, Hernandez taunted Sean, sticking out his tongue and cursing. Sean and fellow UFC vet Chris Curtis jumped the fence, and punches flew until officials separated everyone. Later, Sean explained online that he felt forced to respond to personal insults, claiming Athletic Commission staff should have stepped in sooner. Just days later, Sean uploaded video of himself wrestling 300-pound NFL lineman Dylan Fairchild. Despite the size gap, Dylan's high school wrestling pedigree showed through as he executed a slick ankle pick on the middleweight bruiser. The clip ended with both men laughing, but fans used it to gauge Sean's takedown defense. Half fun, half scouting report. Together, the brawl and the friendly grapple painted Sean as both hot-headed and game for any challenge, keeping his unpredictable image intact. Finally, the leak that shook social feeds came from middleweight champ Dricus Du Plessis while discussing his own title defense against Khamzat Chimaev. In a casual interview, Dricus said the Chicago card would be big because the co-main event features Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. He spoke as if the matchup were already signed, then moved on. Viewers gasped because the UFC had not announced anything. Pairing Paddy, still climbing, with Gaethje, a human highlight reel, sounded both thrilling and risky. Some wondered if Dricus spoiled a planned surprise. Others guessed he repeated unconfirmed chatter. Meanwhile, Israel Adesanya faced his own off-camera moment when a young fan asked him to insult John Jones. Izzy, usually quick-witted, grew serious. He told the fan it's wrong to kick a man while he's down, reminding him that no one is perfect. Even if John made mistakes, Izzy said, respect matters. Video of the exchange spread alongside the leak, showing 2 sides of fight culture. One buzzing over huge matchups, the other checking casual disrespect. If UFC 319 really lands Paddy versus Gaethje, fireworks are guaranteed. And with Topuria breathing down Paddy's neck, the lightweight storylines are stacking like dominoes, ready for one spark to set them falling.